Oh yeah, you can sit over there, it's fine.
Okay, thanks.
What's up guys, Shawn here. So today we've got an interesting video for you guys. They've just updated a lot of the camera functions on the Parrot Anafi. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it up in the air, and one of the main functions that they've updated is they've added Pro mode. So you can change the white balance, you can change shutter speed, you can adjust all the things in the camera, all the functions. So ever since I got this drone, it's the only drone that I have that can point straight up. So I picked a day, even though it's like 90 degrees out here and I'm just gonna sweat for the next half hour. It is a beautiful puffy cloud day. I've got blue skies with puffy clouds. I've come out to a really beautiful courtyard in the middle of some buildings close to where I work. So we're gonna throw the Parrot Anafi up in the air, and I'm gonna attempt to do a freehand 360 degree sphere. All right? And this will be the first drone 360 degree sphere that I don't have to fake anything, because I'll be able to point straight up, get the sky on top of me, get kind of the surrounding cone, and then get the the middle ring, and I'll be able, and every other drone can get the bottom parts of the sphere, but even the new DJI Mavic 2 that came out still can't look up. So I saw a picture yesterday of a panorama. I think Ready Set Drone put it up. It was a beautiful picture, beautiful drone shot, but about 2/3 of the way up, all of a sudden it was just kind of this blurry mess. So I'm super excited about this, and I feel like Parrot's going to put Sphere Mode, or they'll probably have to call it something different, but I'm hoping they put that in the Parrot Anafi in one of the next upgrades, firmware updates. So I picked this location because it's beautiful, but I also picked this location because it's in the shade. There's some spots in the shade. So hopefully I don't stand out in the bright sun and get a sunburn and all that kind of stuff. So this is it for the intro. We're just gonna go up and fly, and I'll try to record my screen. Sometimes that doesn't work out. But yeah, I'm gonna record the screen, and then we're gonna go in the studio and I'm gonna stitch it together, and we're gonna look at it in Photoshop where we can look all around it. Maybe throw it up on Kula so you guys can, I'll put a link in the description to the Kula link, so you guys can go there and play around with the image yourself. But I'm taking it in JPEG and RAW. I'm gonna try just to use the JPEGs to begin with, because if I lock the exposure and the white balance, if I get that on lock, then hopefully all of the images, I won't need to do any adjusting to the images. And another thing that's important when you do this, point it at the ground when you're getting your establishing shot, so you get all of the good auto focus, all of the auto things correct when you're looking at the ground, and then lock your camera in at that exposure, and then when you move it around, it's not going to change on you. Because the focal point of a sphere, and even a 360 image, is really the ground. Most of these drone shots and videos, you want the ground to look good. Sky is generally just blue and white. Sometimes it's orange whenever you're doing sunset or sunrise. But yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about. So here we go, guys. Let's see if we're looking out of the camera. Yep. Now I've got it in photography mode, so that's why the crop factor is the way that it is. And I've got it set to Pro, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to auto for now. And we're going to take off. All right, guys. We got GPS is green, everything's good to go, we're green. All right, guys. So we're gonna go straight up from where we are just to see what it looks like. something I want to do is I want to kind of get the sky with the buildings. We're going to point the camera straight down, and then we're going to come up a little bit. So we're going to do it from about there, 82 feet up in the air. Okay? I think that's a pretty good shot. So now that we have auto everything, we're going to switch it over to Pro. And it should keep those settings. All right. Since we have this shot, we're going to snap a photo, snap a picture, and then we're going to move it up a little bit, about there, snap a picture. All right, and it's taken about 5 seconds to take a picture. That's something we're gonna have to fix later, but I'm not gonna do that right now. What it's doing is it's a timer, so I can snap a picture and then get the controller out of the way. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to point the drone in that direction. Alright guys, so we've opened up Color Auto Pano Pro, and what I've done is I've taken all of these files, and what we're going to do is we're going to organize them by kind. So what it's doing is it's putting all the RAW files in order, all the JPEG files. So we're going to take the JPEG files, we're going to drag them into Auto Pano. Alright, so we've got all these files. They look pretty good, guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to detect. Since we're using the JPEGs, it'll go by pretty quick. And I can see the color looks good on them. one of the things I forgot to do was to set the white balance, to lock the white balance when I took these pictures. So there might be some weird colors here and there, but we'll check out to see what it does. Alright, now it's making the pano. So it's detected all of the images that I took, and now it's arranging them in a sphere. It's correcting the lens distortion. Something that's interesting is the Parrot Anafi takes two different kinds of images. One is a regular rectangle, and then the other one is more of a square. And if you're familiar with GoPros, it's more like the 1440 format, even though the resolution is not 1440. But it'll take an image that is square, so you're using as much as the sensor as possible. And I can already tell that's pretty awesome, guys. So we're going to come in here to edit. And as you can see, there's some blending options that are kind of weird, but we got a very good on this panorama. So what very good means is I took 56 images, there's 216 links between images. And what links between images are, if you go in here, then you've got different, these are all the different little images that I took, and you can see how they overlap and how they link to each other. So that's pretty neat, guys. So anyway, we're going to get out of that. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to blend it. Alright. And what that's going to do is it's going to kind of fix some of the harsh stitching. You know, grass and bushes, it'll just kind of blend. So it'll fix a lot of those imperfections. And I think if I did this again, guys, I would probably do all of the sky at one time. But as you can see, it did a pretty good job. The clouds, I've got actual clouds in this image, which is awesome, guys. And I know I sound super excited, and you guys are probably like, this is lame, this guy is like nutso. But guys, since I've been flying drones, I've you know, I have a lot of videos on my channel of me attaching 360-degree cameras to a drone and putting it up in the air. And you know, there's always a risk of putting an extra payload on the drone so that you might burn out the engines, and then my whole reason for getting the unique Typhoon H was so that because I could take the camera off, I could put another camera on and I wouldn't be burning out the engines. But guys, I now have a solution. You know, it takes a little bit of time to take the picture. I mean, it took me about 10 minutes to take the whole picture, but the results are amazing. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is a pretty good stitch, guys. The only thing I can see is that it didn't figure out the horizon very well because I got this kind of wobble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. Alright, so see what that did, guys? It fixed the horizon. Not completely, but good enough for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this cog, which is render. And that's going to bring up a render window. Look how big this image is, guys. So it's only 72 dots per inch, but it's 322 inches by 161 inches. Okay, guys, so that's, you know, about 23,000 pixels by 11,000 pixels. So it's pretty hard to work with that file, but you know, if I was doing this for a paid gig, then I would definitely keep the resolution and build a poster out of it. But what I'm going to do, just so that it's more of a workable file, I'm going to change it to 8,000 by 4,000. Okay. And I'm going to up the JPEG resolution just so that it's awesome. Alright guys, so what we have is we have 8,000 pixels by 4,000. We have maximum 100. Yep, we're just going to render it from here. Okay guys, so now we've brought the picture into Photoshop. And guys, I'm trying to find some imperfections in it. But I think we have a perfect stitch. Let's try to find... Oh, there we go. So we got the highways a little messed up. That sidewalk's messed up a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit. So we've got some imperfections right there. But this is the part that I thought was really going to mess up, guys. And it did a great job with this, you know, this kind of amphitheater type thing. These stairs, there's a little bit of mistake right there in the stitch, but that's not a big deal. Guys, overall, this is a pretty dang good stitch. I'm really excited that this came out as good as it did. One thing that I wanted to point out, in the when I've taken pictures with the closest drone that comes to this are the DJI Mavic, Mavics, pretty much the Mavic series and the Sparks. They'll take a picture that'll come, you know, the drone can only point about to here, and then from here up, DJI software kind of fakes this top part. So what you usually lose is you lose the sun and you lose some really good clouds. So all of this area over here I would have had to fake in Photoshop, or one thing that I've done with when I put my GoPro Fusion on my Unique Typhoon H, I'll take a picture of the sky from the ground and then I'll merge the two images. But I feel like the only thing I need to fix, and the only thing I want to fix, is this part right here and this part right here. So let's go up here and we'll see if just, well, what are we going to do there, guys? I feel like we're going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to take this okay, I'm going to copy and I'll paste it, and then I'm going to transform it. Edit, transform. Let's start out with just distorting. So we're going to line that up. I really want to just line this road up is the biggest thing. Alright, and then we're going to take a eraser, put it down about there. We're just going to blend that. Alright guys, so that fixed that pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to merge down. So that is now part of this, panorama, and then I think we're going to do the same thing here. This time I think we're just going to cover that gap. Okay, and then we're going to transform, distort. We're just going to line that sidewalk up. Alright, it's pretty good. And then we're just going to fix the edges. Perfect! Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we are going to fit the screen so we can see what we're doing. And it's very harsh. I kind of like it, but I think I'm going to adjust the image just a little bit. All right, now image adjustments, photo filter. And I want to do a cool filter. Since we got blues and greens, I think that's really good. Okay, so we cooled it up a little bit. And then I want to bring out some of I think the shadows are pretty harsh. Like, it's a very concentrated image. So if we change it to this, now that's a little too HDR. So I want to bring the shadows back a little bit, maybe there. I want to bring the highlights there and about there. I think that looks good. All right, guys, that's a pretty dang good image there. All right, so the last thing I want to do is I want to bring it into I want to go into sphere mode pretty much. So I want to do a new panorama layer from, yep, we're going to do that. And what this is going to do, guys, is this is going to kind of put it in a VR situation. So I want you to notice a couple cool things about this image. Okay, so we've got these two guys going on a walk. Okay, but it took me so long to take the entire image that these guys are over here now. So they kind of just walked around this loop the whole time I was there. But what I want to point out, guys, is that I could not do this with my DJI drones. I could not capture the sky. And that's something, since I've had sphere mode on them, I was like, man, I really want to do the sky. I've tried to put a GoPro session on top of my drone just to capture the sky parts. You know, I've tried all kinds of things. All right, so that was how you take a full 360-degree image with a drone, just by itself. You don't need any extra cameras for this. You don't need to fake the sky. The Parrot Anafi can point straight up, it can point straight down, and it can point in all other angles in between. So, hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day, guys. Peace out.